minute, but I just wanted to jump on here and answer some questions because my email is blowing up, my Facebook and YouTube comment sections, lots of text messages, even that. And as a homeschool evaluator, I some of these answers I know, and I'm just repeating the same answers over and over again. So I'm jumping on here. I know last minute I didn't advertise, but I'm going to talk about some of these questions that people are having in regards to homeschooling. Even if you have a homeschooling special needs or homeschooling curriculum, any kind of question like that, you can ask me here. But I did want to address, oh, my dear. Hopefully I could read this because I jotted them down like super quick and my daughter spilled water on it. So that's it, right? Okay. So a lot of these questions that I'm going to answer the ones on the sheet, and then if you guys pop anything down in the chat, so I'm going to answer those questions as well. But the biggest questions that are coming through, especially for those of you that reside in the state of Florida, is stuff that's going on with the Step Up for Students, PEP, UA scholarships. And so I'm going to address those questions that I'm seeing over and over and over again. And one of them is the educational plan. And do I need to do it? When do I need to have it done by? So one of the requirements, and this is specific to PEP, one of the requirements is that you have to do some kind of educational plan. And if you can, I think in general with PEP, just in general, and also UA, if you can remember the date, July 1st, that seems to be the end of the year, beginning of the year type cutoff for both of those scholarships. So pretty much everything that needs to be turned in and done needs to be done by that cutoff date, July 1st. And then when you're setting things up for the following year, everything needs to restart again on July 1st. So any receipts that you get, any thing that you're spending for homeschool co-ops or home education programs, if you're going to do it for the fall 2025, you need to do that after July 1st for it to count towards that school year. Some people do it in faith because the money is not going to be deposited into your account until around September, maybe end of August. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head. Some of us have money already in our scholarship funds and it does roll over. So July 1st. Now, when it comes back down to that educational plan, a lot of people like, yay, I got accepted to the scholarship. I'm going to fill it out now. This is what happened last year. People started filling it out now. So then after that July 1st date came about and the new year started, there were a lot of people that had old educational learning plans that were filled out back in May. Those didn't count anymore because the school year for 2020, this was last year, so 2024-25 started July 1st, 2024. And the previous ones, I hope I'm not confusing you, that started on 23-24 was done in May. So let's put it in perspective for this year. If you are getting the PEP scholarship, and this is strictly PEP, this is not UA. So you're doing that educational plan. You're more than welcome to fill it out for UA. Is not mandatory, but it is for the PEP. Do not fill it out for the 25-26 school year until after July 1st. And they will, I will tell you this right now, they will email you, blast you with emails over and over and over again to make sure that you do it. Because last year there was a handful of parents and adults that did not get it done and they lost their money completely. It's if you're not familiar with this educational plan that's online in the Emma system, it's very easy. It's kind of sort of like multiple choice where you just click the buttons and the dots that you think are appropriate. You don't have to write anything out. And I don't think you do. If you do, it's like maybe 1 or 2 words, but it's very easy, very simple. They're just gathering data. If you can remember that they're just gathering data. So that's the first one. Let me see. This is so bad. I'm trying to figure out. Do I do a portfolio if I have been approved for P? Okay, this is a big question that is coming up a lot. So there are parents that have been homeschooling and all of a sudden for the 2025-26 school year, they are now approved for the PEP. And because PEP falls under a different category than homeschooling, then, oh good, she says help. Okay, you retracted it. I just saw a message pop up. That's what I'm talking about. So hello, okay, just like help. And now it says hello. Hello, Lori. I get it. We all need help. So hopefully this is helping. I'm going to finish my thought process and answering this question. So if you get approved for the PEP for 25-26 school year, and this is your first time doing it, that does not mean you go right now in the middle of May and unenroll your child and forget about the evaluation. It's totally okay, Lori. I do the same thing. I know. It made me happy. Sorry, she's writing messages. I don't know if you could see them on the replay or whatever, but she's writing. I love it because we're all human here. It's totally okay. And let me know if you have any questions too. Anyway, so okay, so PEP. Don't go in there right now, unenrolling as a homeschooler, and then don't get your portfolio done, because that's not what you need to wait after that July 1st deadline. Okay, there are people that will do that. And they will do that. And you know what? Like, legally, that's not what you're supposed to do, but they will do it anyway, and everything will be fine. And nobody's going to say anything. And it's almost like they slip under. There's so much going on right now. Everybody's overwhelmed. All of this we're in year 3. Yes, year 3 with the PEP, and everyone is so overwhelmed. I've talked to one of the home education and one of the home education ladies in one of the districts who's in charge of it from the district perspective, and she just kept telling me how overwhelmed she is with all this information, and how there are a lot of mistakes happening, and that's just because they're overwhelmed and they don't understand everything, and it's all new. And so I know we want to be compliant with the law, and we want to do the right thing. And yes, by law, you do need to get your portfolio evaluation done if your portfolio is due before, I would say, August, July 1st is when it begins. To be safe, even if your evaluation date is August, I would still get your portfolio review done and then unenroll. But always keep reading those emails that Step Up for Students sends out, because they may send something out July 1st that says, okay, guys, you may unenroll. As soon as they send that email out telling you that you need to unenroll as a homeschooler, it may come July 1st. Last year it did not. It came in around, I want to say, August, September. So those emails where they say unenroll your child as a homeschooler, that's when you're like, okay, if my portfolio anniversary date is a month after that, I really don't need to get it done. But if it falls during that month or any time before, you need to get your portfolio evaluation done. And that's to stay in compliance with the law. But like I said, like, there are people that as soon as they got that acceptance letter in like April last year, they were like, unenroll, no portfolio, and they were fine. That did happen. And some of those people are walking around claiming that, no, you can do it, it's fine, it's okay, da, da, da. That's not what the law says. That's not in compliance with law. I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'm going to throw that out there because I have to say that. I can't give you legal advice, all that stuff. I am honestly going by what I've experienced as a homeschool parent, and what I'm also hearing from other homeschool families, and the information that I've gotten from the people that are in the politics, in the political realm. Okay. As always, I am going to say this, like, just straight up front, to get, obviously HSLDA is a huge resource. They are the lawyers, but also if you want to get good information as well, what's going on in Tallahassee when it comes to homeschooling, Jason Crawford, who is with HEF. I know a lot of you guys know Brenda Dickinson. She has always been our homeschool lobbyist for like 20, 30, probably 40 years. I don't know the exact number. She, I don't know if I can say it, but it is on a video, and she is going to be retiring. How about that? I'm pretty sure I can say that. She is going to be retiring. Jason Crawford has worked alongside her for the last 2 years, and I am not a public school teacher. I was. Sorry. She said, so no. I'm not a public school teacher. I was a public school teacher for 10 years. And then I resigned 14 years ago. I think we're at 14 now, to homeschool my kids. Yeah, no, I'm not a public school teacher. I was for 10 years. I was public and private school. So I've done public school, I've done private school, I've done home education, I've done tutoring, I've homeschooled my own kids, all four of my kids, including my daughter who has Down syndrome. I do have a high schooler, I do have two middle schoolers this year. My daughter with Down syndrome is elementary school. She's going into third grade. And then I do that, yeah. So, and then, oh, what else do homeschool evaluations. I do homeschool evaluations across the state of Florida. Um, yeah, no. It's not that, it's just because this is where I've been my whole life is education. That's like my passion. And not really that much stuff on my hands. It seems like a lot. It's just, I was single for 10 years. And before I got, when I got, no, was it 10? I didn't get married till I was 29. I had my first kid when I was 31. So I've got like 10 years of like teaching intensive experience where I like dedicated and poured my heart and soul in the education public school sector. So, okay. So I want to, sorry, I don't want to talk too much about me, but yeah, no, that's my background. Okay, so yes, Florida residents, yes. Okay, and then the other thing that I really, 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 really want to stress, there are Facebook groups out there for PEP and UA scholarship recipients. Okay, listen, this is like me being just so incredibly honest. I'm not trying to make money. I'm not trying to do anything, but I see it and it makes me want to scream because these parents get on there and they it's like they want to know all the information about everything and they give really bad advice. And then they'll say things that are factual, or I'm sorry, they will say things that they say is factual, but it's not. So you're hearing it like second, third, fourth, it's been like gone down, you don't know, like, is this factual or not, but you're taking it and they're giving bad information out on these Facebook groups. Okay, because it's just bad information. I've even like Jason Crawford has contacted me and said, please go on the UA and please help me correct this information because people are spreading bad rumors and it happens. If you want to know straight from the horse's mouth, you need to HEF, HEF, Home Education Foundation. Go to their website, go join their Facebook page. Every single Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, they go live for an hour. They will answer every single question you have, no matter how stupid it is. You may think it is. There's no stupid questions, but a lot of us think our questions are really stupid, but they're not because everybody else, I mean, like me right now, I'm getting the same question over and over and over again about these PEP stuff. So go to the Facebook page and join and make sure you keep, and you can go back and watch the past ones too. Jason's on there, Brenda's on there, and they have guests. They have different senators come on there and discuss things. So if I subscribed, I don't know, will I give you a shout out? Subscribe to their, I don't have any control of theirs, but I mean, if you subscribe to my channel, yay, shout out, Lori. Sorry. If I subscribe, will you give me, I mean, you can say Leilani sent you. You can totally tell Brenda and Jason, Leilani sent you to HEF. They know me. So they would be like, yay, oh my goodness, I'm on low battery. Okay, I'm at 20%. I didn't realize I had low battery. Good. But get to know Jason, support him in everything that he is doing. He is actually, to give you a little bit of his information, I've known them forever. But he is a homeschool. He's a second generation homeschooler. So he was a homeschooler himself. And then he is now homeschooling his kids. And the cool part is you get a lot of women doing this and not like bashing women or anything, but there's something about having a man standing up for homeschool rights. It's amazing. And he is great. He's homeschooling all four of his kids and my kids are friends with his kids. And his wife is doing a phenomenal job. Like, I believe, was she homeschooled too? I'm not quite sure, but I've known her forever. And I don't even know if I feel like she's always been, maybe she has been homeschooled. I mean, I know her mom. Oh, now I don't even know if she was homeschooled. I don't think she was, but I know he was. I know he was for a fact. Either way, I mean, that's the kind of person you have in Tallahassee that are fighting for our rights and very much trained by Brenda. So that's the plug for HEF, Home Education Foundation. And if you are going to the homeschool convention, this upcoming weekend, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which I highly recommend you do if you haven't already. I know the hotel rooms are completely booked, but you can definitely show up on site and register and go for a day. It's online, FPEA. Sorry, the FPA. I don't have my water up here. I should. I should have had my water up here. FPA website, and you can find out that it's at Gaylord Palms, and you can. Oh, Ty. Ty is the one who is. My name is Ty. This is my grandma's phone. Okay, got it. She's on here asking questions. So, oh, okay. Oh, she's 9. Okay. Nice to meet you. Well, you are getting a jump start on the homeschool stuff by knowing all this information. All right. So, but coming back to, I forgot what I was saying. FPA Homeschool Convention. If you are there, okay, at the Homeschool Convention, Brenda Dickinson, Jason Crawford, HEF, they're going to have a booth. I'm probably going to be hanging out. My kids will probably be hanging out around there, and I might watch the booth for a period of time if they need to have a meeting or something. But I will be volunteering for the FPEA. You're welcome to stop by and say hi, but I will be representing FPEA at the Homeschool Convention, and I will be doing Mentoring Moms booth, which is in the middle of the expo hall from 2 to 6 on Friday. So I'll be there. Just you stop by, say hi. You could stop by, ask me a question. Most of the time, the questions at the Mentoring Moms booth is, hey, where can I find curriculum on this? Or where's Rainbow Resource? Because everybody wants to know what the Rainbow Resource curriculum booth is. So come by, say hi. I might also be over, I like to jump around to the booths and hang out with some of these people, and I go shopping as well. But there's a couple of people there that are running booths that I'm friends with. So, and no, I do not have a booth. I'm helping. I'm volunteering and helping my friends. So, FPA stands for Florida Parent Association. So it's actually FPEA. So it's Florida Parent Educators Association. It is the homeschool organization in the state of Florida, the biggest one. There's a couple of little ones. But the biggest one is the Florida Parent Education Association. The lady who runs it is Susan Nunn. It is actually the largest homeschool convention in the nation. And by default, the world. It has become larger than Great Homeschool Convention, the one that, the Great Homeschool Convention, is that what it's called? The one that Andrew Pudewa does? Actually, Andrew Pudewa is going to be at this convention again, too. And so, yeah, kind of exciting. Especially if you're a homeschool mom. Like it's really fun because you get the best information you possibly can. And I always say, like, connect with the author. So going to these conventions are great because then you can see if you connect with the author and if it's right for you and for your child, and get lots of advice, because there's a lot of people out there just giving a lot of these talks. They're giving advice and stuff like that. So, all right. So the UA. Okay, this is another question that I'm getting. This one actually really concerns me because, bye Lori, bye Ty. Sorry, they're getting off. This one concerns me because, and I know this is something where you're just slipping through the cracks if you are in this. This concerns me because you have to understand the UA scholarship. There are 2 scholarships in the state of Florida through, well, there's actually 4, but 2 that have to do with homeschoolers in the state of Florida that are underneath the Step Up for Students program. So PEP, that is Personalized Education Program, I think it stands for, but that is the one that is for, pretty much anybody can apply to that one. It's a separate category. They don't consider it homeschool. There's a lot of political reasons why they don't consider it homeschool. You just have to just understand that. I'm not going to go into detail with that publicly. There's just a lot of opinions surrounding that and just all the things. And I have my opinions, but I they're just opinions. But it is what it is. It doesn't fall under homeschool laws. And actually some of it Brenda has shared with me personally, but it is what it is. It's a separate thing. You are not considered homeschooling if you get the PEP scholarship and the money. And it's a choice that you make. Anybody can get it if you turn in the paperwork on time. It's there. If you do the PEP program and get the scholarship, you do unenroll as a homeschooler when that email comes out around July, August, September. I don't know the exact date right now. Um, then the UA scholarship is also provided by Step Up for Students. That one is unique abilities, and those are for the kids that have, Down syndrome, even ADHD, dyspraxia, they have dyslexia, there's other medical. um Oh, she's asking. No, I'm answering other questions too. Sorry, I'm gonna stop really quick. I'm answering other questions too. It's just I've gotten so many questions about Florida that I just wanted to like throw them on here. So if you do have a question, Brooklyn, just pop it down, and when I'm done, I'm just gonna finish addressing this one right now. And if you have a question, I'll answer it. Okay, dyspraxia, by the way, is they have a hard time writing. It's like dyslexia, but for the actual writing. Um, but it's basically, and even like cerebral palsy, medical stuff that can affect your learning. And so that is what the UA scholarship is for in the state of Florida. That one still falls under the homeschool laws. So, for example, I have had parents come to me and say, "Oh, I have the UA scholarship. I don't need to do the portfolio anymore." No, that is an example of someone who fell through the cracks. If they are caught, they will probably be brought in. Like if they don't catch it first, or they will probably be brought in to possibly the superintendent to get their portfolios evaluated, or they will be contacted and told that they have to get a portfolio in by a certain date. So if you are in that situation where you have a UA scholarship and you think you don't need to do portfolios anymore, you need to reach out to your district and you need to sign up to get your portfolio evaluated, and you make sure all your paperwork is in order. And you, by the way, if you're in the state of Florida, you have to keep your portfolio evaluation for at least 2 years. So, and I have heard people say that, and I have said to them so nicely, you need to check on that. I do evaluations. This is what I do for a living. I know that if you have a child on the UA scholarship, you need to get your portfolio. And they'll get in an argument with me, and they have, and I'm just like, contact your district. But I have my kids, some of them on the UA scholarship, and we have to do portfolios once a year for the UA scholarship. And I've spoken to my person in charge of the district, and we've had conversations. I've been doing evaluations for 13 years and all these things. So when I tell you that's what you need, and it's in the law, like it's literally written in the law. So UA falls under homeschool laws, and PEP is a separate law, not homeschool laws. Even though PEP recipients do function as homeschoolers as of right now. And just keep your eye, please, if you have a child on the PEP scholarship, do keep your eye on what's going on politically and watch, because there may come a time where something happens where there is more control over the PEP scholarship, as in for the education for your child, and you need to decide whether or not you want to continue with the PEP scholarship based on some decisions, and just kind of keep those in mind. Just keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna say that I have a lot of thoughts on it. We just have to stay vigilant. We have to know why we're homeschooling, and don't compromise our homeschooling because of money and finances and all that kind of stuff. So let me just go through. I had 5 questions here. Will UA pay for portfolios? Yes. If you get a portfolio evaluation with the UA, you can turn in the receipts and get reimbursed. Definitely. And do I have... Yep, that was that one. And I think I answered all of the PEP UA questions. So if any of you guys that are on right now have any questions, just like pop them below in the comment section. So, okay, is this Florida? I answered what is dyspraxia. All right, awesome. So if you guys have any questions, just pop them in the bottom. If not, I can sign off, or I can just let me know if you want me to come live. I didn't schedule this at all. So I do hope that those of you guys that did not make it to this live, that you're able to watch the replay and get the information that you need. So I will make sure to post this and maybe like send an email out. The other thing I wanted to address was I am a choice navigator. So if you're in Florida and you need it, that was the other question. right on there. Choice navigators. Okay, so there's a lot of questions about what a choice navigator is in the state of Florida and if it is mandatory. So when you sign up for the PEP, they say they talk about choice navigators here and there all the time. So a choice navigator is basically a homeschool consultant, and that is completely 100% optional. But if you do choose to use a choice navigator to help you navigate, through the PEP or just navigate homeschooling, just a suggestion, there are a few of us that are qualified choice navigators. I am a choice navigator for Step Up for Students. And you can actually, I'm a direct provider too. So I'm all like, I'm recipient. I've done, PEP, UA recipient, and I'm also on the other side of things where I'm a provider as well. So I am a provider as a choice navigator. You can set up an appointment with me, and the money, you don't even have to touch the money. The money will come directly straight from the scholarship to me. Don't have to touch it, which is really nice. And we can sit down and we can look at curriculum. And I will say this, I do want to add that, and this is for anyone just across the nation in general, I do a lot of curriculum reviews on my channel. And one of the things that I have been doing this for 6 years, and I didn't start as a homeschool channel, like it kind of just evolved into that. But I've been on YouTube for 6 years and getting to know some of these curriculum companies, and getting to know them on a personal level, and knowing that certain curriculum companies I really click with and some of them I don't. And the ones that I don't click with, it doesn't mean that they're a bad company. The reasons why I don't click with them, like that, there are some curriculums out there that I do have some concerns with. And I don't talk about that very open. Well, how do I phrase this? I don't want to be extremely critical, because I found out by default that, and I can use Matthew C as an example. I did not like Matthew C when I first started homeschooling. And over the course of a couple years, I discovered that I really, really like Matthew C. So any old video out there that I bash Matthew C, I don't even know where they are. So now I disagree with myself. So I have learned over the years to be very careful, to like say anything negative about, unless I have some really good tangible evidence to back myself up, or reasons why, or I'll share my opinion where I'm like, I don't like this curriculum because of this. And I've done that a few times, but what I'm trying to say is, if you want my honest opinion, because people will in the comment section, they'll be like, what do you think about this curriculum? Or why aren't you using this curriculum anymore? And it's really difficult for me to answer that in a comment section or even a video that's public, because sometimes it gets read wrong. People misunderstand what I'm saying or take what I'm saying and it gets twisted. So, especially if it's publicly. So I've learned over the course of the years that if you want to do a consultation, I'm probably going to be a little bit more honest with you, especially after talking to you and understanding your family dynamic, your child's learning style, a little bit more about who you are. I can give you some more honest feedback. So like, for example, and I'm not going to mention the curriculum's name or the person I met with, but there was a consultation. It wasn't even a consultation. It was actually an evaluation. But as I was listening to them go through and listening to them talk about their child, in my mind, I went, that this one specific curriculum will be great for them. That's what I thought. And I was thinking that in the back of my mind. But for me, I know we did that curriculum with my kids and it was not working at all. Okay. And I have a reason why it didn't work. It just didn't work. It's not anything to do with the curriculum. It's just, it didn't work for me. And I shared that in the video. This is why it didn't work for us. And I explained. However, in this situation with the meeting with that parent, I was like, this curriculum will be perfect for you, even though it didn't work for me. I don't know if that makes sense. What's funny is, like, the parent said, I'm looking at this curriculum or this curriculum. What do you think? And I was like, oh, this one. She's like, oh, that's what I was leaning towards. So it kind of worked out really good. And we were able to discuss a little bit of what I saw with the curriculum and things like that. So I feel like during what I'm trying to say is during some of these consultations, I can be a little bit more open and honest with you about from an educational standpoint and from a standpoint of, hey, I did this curriculum and here's my honest opinion and why this is my honest opinion. However, looking at your situation and applying that. Okay, lots of questions are coming in, and I'm also, all right. Do you have any great vocabulary ideas that are fun? Not looking for regular paper curriculum that has them do workbook pages. Okay, what age? I need age is important. So I'm going to wait to see if you respond. In Florida, do you have to finish the whole? No, you do not have to finish the curriculum ever in any state because we don't have a quick curriculum requirements in the state of Florida. My daughter is autistic and school year is almost ending and we aren't close to finishing, and that's fine. So I will give you my example really quick. We had a situation where we started doing math, algebra 1. Okay, so we're talking high school too. We're talking high school. We're doing algebra 1 with my son, and it's hard, and it's because this curriculum doesn't work with him. It has nothing to do with the style of the curriculum. It doesn't mean that he's stupid. It's just they're not clicking, right? Our learning styles, everybody learns differently, okay? We're all in different places. This was not working for this particular curriculum, but we pushed through. We kept trying to push through. And then we came to, I want to say November, and I looked at him and I said, we are done with this Algebra 1 curriculum. And we had a throwing away ceremony. Okay, we literally did it because he was done too. And we needed to do this. And so that's when we started Matthew C. Algebra 1. He thrived with Matthew C. Algebra 1. However, he's not done with it now because he started Algebra 1 as a ninth grader in November, December. I don't remember the exact date, but we're not done. Okay, so it's the end of the public school year, but it's not the end of our year. But I'm going to keep going with the Algebra 1. Now I could stop it if I want to, especially with those younger kids, it's a little bit different. You don't do credits. Like, we're not thinking about college when you're in 4th grade or 6th grade. We're thinking about college credits for him. And so he's going to finish his Algebra 1 curriculum just because he wants to get that full credit in Algebra 1. However, there's different things you can do with this. So, and I'm probably going to make a video on this as well too. You do a curriculum and, I got to think of an example because I know we've done this where we're doing a curriculum and we're coming close to spring break and we're not done with it, but I'm so done with the curriculum and we're just like, I'm done. And I've done that before. I can't even think of an example. I've done that. Many people have done that. One of the things that happens during a portfolio evaluation sometimes is parents will wait till they're done with the curriculum to get a portfolio evaluation, even if that means that they're late. Don't do that because, because that makes it doesn't connect with what the districts want you to do. They want that 1-year anniversary, whether or not you're in the middle of the school year or the end of the school year or the beginning of the school year. They just want to know what you've done over the course of the year, even if it's a combination of 2 grades. That's the way you have to think of it. It's just a 1-year anniversary to check to see if you've been doing a year. Not that you've been doing start to finish in a whole year. You could do 1 school year in 3 years if you need to, as long as there's progress. I hope that makes sense. We do not have in the state of Florida any curriculum requirements. I know Texas has curriculum requirements. I know there's other states that have, we do not. We don't even have attendance requirements in the state of Florida. All you have to do is get checked once a year by a certified teacher. And like I said, usually the certified teachers out there like me that are doing homeschool evaluations, we're homeschooling our kids too. So we get it. We totally get it. And if you're interested in me evaluating your kids, it's on my website. If you're interested in consultations, it's on my website, leilanimelendez.com. You can check it out, sign up. There's some dates available. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. Okay, I'm going to go back because I'm looking. I have 10% left on my phone, and it's going pretty quick. Okay, let me answer this question. Do you have any great vocab ideas for fun? Not looking for a regular paper curriculum that has them do workbook pages. This is for grade 4, 5, and 6. All right, you can always, this is when, okay, this is, you can do, it's hard because a lot of vocabulary work is done through workbooks, but you can always I mean, it depends. If you want to go by state standards, get a state standards list of vocabulary words if you want to. You can always look at Latin roots. It depends which angle you want to take it from. Do you want to do state standards? Do you want to do Latin roots? Do you want to learn vocabulary through writing? If you want to learn vocabulary through writing, IEW is great, but you have to be very, you have to keep an eye on it. You can't let it fall by the wayside, or they're going to repeat the same words over and over again. You have to help them increase their vocabulary. Do not be afraid to use technology. You can always bust out the old dictionary or the synonym booklet, or you could just ask Alexa, for example, Alexa, what's a synonym for little? Okay, she's not listening to me right now. Maybe she is. Nope, she's not. She doesn't like me right now. Anyway, Alexa works, and you can get lots of different words. Now she's listening to me. I know, I see you. My Alexa's over there. You can get lots of different words from Alexa. GPT chat, I know that's AI, and AI scares people, but you can get games from I'm going to come out with a video where I talk specifically how you can use GPT chat. I know that's scary.
I'm not sure how to help you with that.
Yeah, I know. You need to listen better. Sorry. But GPT chat, as scary as it is, and GPT chat's like the basic one. There's so many more AIs that are becoming available. If you can even ask them for a vocabulary list, ask them for a vocabulary games. They will give you several ideas. Games are a great way to do it. You can probably Google some YouTube songs with 6th grade vocabulary. Just so you guys are aware that there are people out there that are writing curriculum that are literally having AI write the curriculum for them. Yet they're doing all the AI work and then selling it to you, but AI did the work. So that's something to keep in mind too. That's why you need to connect with the author to find out their foundational stuff and see. Yeah, it's a little scary. Okay, thank you so much. We were doing math with confidence 1st grade, and that's a good curriculum. And she gets very frustrated with it. Okay, yeah, so it's not working. What are your favorite elementary math curriculums? So if you're doing math with confidence, I mean, I'm a big fan of Matthew C right now because it's just changing everything in our household, and it lays down some really good foundations. Beast Academy is very good, but it might be a little bit too hard. Oh, was it one? It's C. It's not math with confidence. Singapore's always good if you haven't used it. There's C something. Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember. Singapore's good. Don't do Right Start Math. You'll pull your hair out because trust me. Apology is good. It is very fast paced, but it's a good one. It really connects with their science. But Matthew C really nails down that foundational stuff. That's what I'm finding. And there's a lot of repetition with it, and it's not dry. So I'm loving Matthew C right now. So that's my suggestion. I have 8 minutes. No, I have 8% left on my phone. My 7th grader needs help with spelling. Do you have any recommendations? Spelling games. I with spelling, I do like phonics. I do like IEW's program, but that only works if you're really good with just if you need repetition to help remember things. Spell UC. That's the cousin of Matthew C is also really good. I will be at the FPA. I will be I will be assisting at the Mentoring Moms booth in the middle of the expo hall from 2 to 6 on Friday. So come by and say hi. I will also be hanging out with Hef. I will probably stop by Biblical Science Institute too and hang out there a little bit because I'm friends with them. And anybody that I'm friends with, I might be like jumping around. My whole family's there. So except for Naomi, she's staying with Abuela. So we'll all be there. All right, I'm trying to ask. No, don't ask Alexa. She's like, no, ask GPT chat. GPT chat. I know, it's like really scary, you guys. I have a friend that literally got GPT chat to pray for them, and I'm like, oh, that's a little bit crossing the line for me. Yeah, there's some scary stuff happening with AI. I guess what it is don't let AI take the place of a person. I think we have to use self-control because it's going to get more and more tempting as we get older. And I really think the next generation, the ones that are like babies right now, that's going to be their big struggle because they're going to be raised with that. We just have to be very mindful and very wise and just think about this, okay? Good idea to learn AI. Scary, yes, but I'm convinced it is already changing. Yeah, it is. It is. And I am trying to learn AI and I'm trying to get used to it, but also I don't want AI to take over me. If that makes sense. I'll have AI kind of fill in some gaps if I'm running out of ideas, but it's still me, and I use it as games. Like I use it to find games, a lot of games and activities when I'm running out of those ideas. Thanks. I'm also going to look up some YouTube videos. We do IEW and we do look up synonyms. Banished Boring Words is a really good book that goes really well with IEW. We use that. We'll try to find a good thesaurus this summer as well. Okay, GPT chat. Yeah, yeah. And it'll get to know you too. It's a little creepy. Um, okay, I got 6% on my phone. I'm like counting down. I should have done this longer. I might charge it for a bit and come back later because I do have some free time right now because my husband took my kids out. So, but I only have 6% right now and I don't have a plug with me. Do you guys have any other quick questions? No? Okay. Unless you're typing right now, I'll hang out just a little bit to see if anybody types. Yeah, just come to the FPA, check out my website if you have any questions. The other thing I said, I was going to say, like, I'm YouTube. Okay, if you can subscribe to my channel, I feel silly asking that, but if you're not subscribed, if you can subscribe, I know subscription, people don't really subscribe like they used to back in the day, but when it comes to, because I like doing public speaking, I've decided I love teaching, period. But in order to do public speaking, people like to see the numbers, and if you subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Facebook page, Instagram page, it would be great. I am planning to dual enroll, actually. We are planning on dual enrolling with my son. And I'm not even thinking about that until he gets to 11th and 12th grade. Dual enrollment, you have to, if you plan on dual enrollment, yes, I do high school consultations. And it really depends on, and when I say, I don't, I guess the best way to put it, we can always work through stuff. Because different states have different requirements, and that can also be, but when it comes to finding the names for your classes, my goal, I'll be straight up honest, like I want to help with transcript consultations, like building your transcripts for colleges. I already have my transcript building with my son, and I understand kind of the background. I know people have coached me on it, on how to do it and stuff like that. So I have not been to the Great Homeschool Convention. I would love to go. I would love to speak. There's a lot of things that I'm praying about. It's just, I'll be straight up honest with all of this stuff. If you want to speak, and by the way, the Homeschool Special Needs Convention is not happening. They did not get the enrollment that they wanted, and they did have to cancel that. But in order to speak at some of these conventions, you literally have to pay them. And you have to have something to sell. And I don't want to spend $600 to $1,500 for a booth when the only thing that I have to sell is my consulting business and my portfolio evaluations and my book and my curriculum, which you can get online, and it's on my website, because I'm not going to make back that money, in my opinion. So I'm not spending. If they ask me to speak, I will go. I will speak for free, but I don't want to pay to speak. I love speaking. I love teaching. I've discovered that is my passion. I don't care where you put me. If I have a group of people to teach anything, I want to teach. So anyway, when do we need to have our evaluations turned in? It depends on your anniversary date. So the day that you, and as a side note, I do have on my website a speaking page if you are looking for a speaker. So that's on there too. Anyway, you want to look at your anniversary date. That's the day that you turned in your form saying, I am going to homeschool my child. And then they should respond to you saying, great, we just need your portfolio evaluation or annual evaluation. They use different terms, every district. Annual evaluation, portfolio evaluation, that's all the same thing. On this month, 2025 or 2026, whatever they say. When you enroll them, a year after you enroll them, that's your date. You do want to have a 60-day window, okay? So if your evaluation is due August 2025, right, August 1st, 2025, you don't want to do your portfolio evaluation in May, okay? even though it doesn't really matter by law, it's just these districts, the way it interprets for a lot of these districts, it's politics. Just to be safe and not deal with drama, stay within the 60-day window because that's what they like. Okay? You don't want to fight something. You don't want to spend the money and time fighting something. Just get it in the 60 days and make them happy. That's just my opinion. If you want to fight it, fight it. But just get it in the 60 days. I'm sure they're going to work on interpretation soon. Okay. So like I said, if it's due August 1st, 2025, you can get it anywhere from July 1st and June through June, July. No, not June. I'm sorry, I did my math wrong. August 1st, July 1st, June. So anytime during June and July, you can get it done. If for whatever reason you're late, you can always contact your district and ask them for an extension. And the best way for a lot of counties, they want to know that you already have a evaluator signed up. I have 4% left on my phone, so I'm not going to be left on. I can't. My phone's going to die in like 4%. Samantha, I'm so sorry. I might check on my son is here. I lied. I said my kids were gone with my husband. My son is here. My teenage son is here, and he's not going to bother me. He's actually doing a Bible study online. But I can answer something really quick. I'll probably get off when my phone hits 2%. So, I forgot what there are some districts. So if you need a extension, like you forgot, or the evaluator that you really like was booked up. Now for me, I always say this like straight up, like if you don't see a date on there and it's an emergency, please email me. I do leave dates open for emergencies because I know it happens. So I had someone say, oh, I couldn't get a date on the calendar because it was all booked and I had to find another evaluator and they were really upset. I'm like, text me or email me. A lot of my families have my text number just because they've been with me so long. Okay, I love Apologia. Yes, I know you love Apologia. Do you think it's enough for a kid who wants to go to college for STEM, vet med? They do have zoo. Oh, it depends on elementary school. I think it doesn't really matter for elementary school, to be honest, and middle school. But Apologia is known for having the highest level curriculum, academic level curriculum from a creation perspective. But if they're wanting to go to college for STEM, I honestly would try to see if they could find a job or even an internship while they're in high school to try and help them out with that kind of education and also networking. So if you live in Tampa or even like Orlando or near a zoo, or if you live near a veterinarian office, see if they can do some internship or volunteer hours. I don't know if some might have some volunteers or even volunteer for like the Humane Society or something like that. Instead of worrying about classes, you can get your classes. Like Apology is great. It's one of the top especially coming from a creation perspective, and from a biblical perspective, it's going to be the top. I think even better than Abeka, to be honest, in my opinion. And Abeka is rigorous. I think Abeka is more book work than anything, but Apologia it's going to get to the point, get the stuff out there and get it done so you can focus on more of the practical things, like real life things. But I would get them networking, I would get them volunteering, and even eventually dual enroll. I would honestly do that. I would not rely on the curriculum. The curriculum is just kind of there to give them the credit, but Apologia is a very good curriculum. But if they are so determined to be vet, get them out there. Okay, I hope that helped. I'm glad I'm not the only late one. I'm still at 4%. Okay, middle school and high school. He is in second 2E and gifted in science specifically. Oh, was it you that asked me the question? I do not know what 2E stands for. I do like BJU. I feel so. Okay, wait, hold on. Middle school and high school. He is in 2E and gifted in science specifically. He could even, honestly, like, you can even do dual enrollment. Like, why even bother holding him through the 4 years? Like, have him just get his credits done and get him into college when he is like, there's a very good talk by Andrew Pudewa. It is called Rethinking High School. Go on the IEW website and find it. You can download it for free. You can even Google it on YouTube. It is Rethinking High School. Listen to his perspective. It's really, really good, especially for kids that are gifted and just like ahead. Don't hold them back. We are so busy trying to hold back our kids because that's the way that we were taught in the institution. So I'm at 3%. Okay. Thoughts on BJU? I feel like BJU is the cousin of Abeka, but not because Abeka is very old school. I feel like it doesn't. I'm going to be honest about Abeka. It's great. It's rigorous. All the things. It does a great job. It works for a lot of kids, but it is old school, and it is not what modern day like technology. It's just not going to fit with our generation of kids that are raising. If they do, yeah, they're going to have a solid educational background if they were in the 90s. And but that's Abeka. BJU is a little bit more updated. I'm going to say it's like early 2000s. And they are kind of updating their stuff a little bit. It is a little bit old school in a sense, and it is very rigorous. It's the cousin to Abeka. I do like it for some things, to be honest. So I will say this, I was debating between BJU and another curriculum for my daughter, and I decided to go with the other curriculum. And that was because just thinking about her place in this generation and realizing that the things that I felt were important for her were in the other curriculum. BJU had things that were important to me, but not really important. It's a whole, I could do a whole video, but I've only got 3%. So what I decided for her, and I can't even remember, I have it written down somewhere because I'm going to the homeschool convention to double check myself, and I'm going to flip through BJU, and then I'm gonna go flip through this other curriculum just to double check myself to see. And I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna ask them a lot of questions. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Generations, but I don't think Generations has a curriculum that I'm looking for language arts with her. I'm trying to remember which one it was. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. Okay, thank you. We did a couple of the elementary ones and I like them. Mispronunciation threw me off in some of the audiobooks. Yeah, okay, that's awful. That's frustrating. You should email them and let them know. I'm not kidding. You need to email them and let them know that some of the words were mispronounced, especially now that they're redoing all the Apologia series and updating everything for the elementary. So I would email them. 2E means twice exceptional. Okay. That he has dyslexia, ADHD, but he is getting, it makes sense. That totally makes sense. He is starting middle school, so we have time. I just don't know what route to take for middle and high school. Well, go listen to that talk by Andrew Pudawa, that Rethinking High School. Like, listen to it. That's my first step suggestion. And then if you get a chance, I would find, if you're at a convention or something, I would even talk to him about it and see what he says, because you don't have to hold him back. He doesn't have to do high school in 4 years. You can start high school and middle school if he's at that level. So there's that, and you can start dual enrollment as soon as you can, and he could be finished and get him volunteering, interning, all that stuff. Okay, I'm at 2%. Please do a video. Yes, I will. Do you have suggestions on helping someone who has cerebral palsy, among other diagnoses, to write? Writing is so hard for her. She's 11, but we're at maybe second grade level. She tires so much. And to be honest, you know, don't be afraid to use technology to help her, because that can be very frustrating, and that's why technology is there for us. Teaching textbooks. The next question. I'm at 2%. I gotta go soon. See, this is when all the questions come in. I had my route with teaching textbooks. I do like them as a company and as people. It can be rigorous. Can you just like email me that question? I really struggle with this, because for many people, teaching textbooks will work. And there is that debate of it. Is it being rigorous? Is it not rigorous enough? People say it isn't. It's going to give you the minimum, I think. It's going to give you what you need. I think once you get to high school, you start to see that. Not as much in the elementary levels, but it really started becoming very apparent when I got into the high school stuff. There were some things that happened that are more not having to do with teaching textbooks, but more having to do with my kids, that I'm not comfortable sharing publicly. That happened, and I don't, so I'm going to stop there, but I can talk about that more on a private level, if that makes sense, because it's not something I want to talk about publicly. So, yeah. Is it, so I do know Matthew C was a better fit for us because Matthew C was more rigorous. If your child's gifted, don't use teaching textbooks. I would say teaching textbooks is really good for the unique learners, the struggling learners, those that have dyscalculia, the you know, it's good for them. It gets you the minimum. If they're going to be humanities, language arts, that's the type of style they are. Okay, teaching textbooks. All right, we are going to start IW, structure and style. Good. And I have a link too, so you can always use that. What was the name of the Andrew Pudewa talk again? It is called Rethinking High School. I am at 2% on my phone. So I don't know what to do because I want to keep talking and my phone's going to die. So I am going to sign off. Please email me, and yeah, sorry, I might jump on if I like, and once I charge my phone a little bit more, I might come back. I don't know. It just depends on where my kids are. But please email me, please message me. I'm really behind on my YouTube messages, 1% now. All right, please email me, please, all the things. If you have any questions, and I'll try to do some more lives. I'll probably be live at FBA too, and stop by and say hi. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head out, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. And all right, take care.